Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing my July faves and fails. Let's just jump straight into it. Okay, and this is in like no particular order. So the first on my list is my Milk Cleanser by Unani. I can't remember if I've had this in a recent faves and fails, but listen, I have been using this. Like, I just tend to use a makeup wipe or the makeup remover microfiber towel when I'm initially taking off my makeup. But I find that that's not ever enough. And even though I would prefer to have like a soapy cleanser, because this is not a soapy cleanser, this is just kind of like a lotion. And at first I wasn't really into this, and I had to use it alongside other products. But I've been giving it a chance on its own and been using it by itself as it's intended. And like, usually after I take off my makeup, I still feel like my skin is a little bit greasy. I don't feel like it's taken off all of my makeup. And I go in with this and it takes away all of that greasy film, that layer of, it just takes away that greasy feeling, and I feel like my skin is clean, like I actually have that clean feeling. Because there's sometimes I can use things on my face and it's like, but I don't feel clean. I don't actually feel clean. So since I've been using this, and as I said, it's not what I would normally go for, because it doesn't lather up. I think that's the main problem, is that because it didn't lather up, I wasn't really feeling it, because I'm used to having something which lathers up and has that soapy kind of feeling, and this is definitely not giving me that soapy feeling. So I was just kind of like writing it off prematurely and using it alongside other things to make it react in the way that I would want it to. But this just leaves my skin feeling so clean after I take off that initial layer of makeup. I go in with this is gorgeous. And the good thing is that the fragrance is really faint. It's soft. Like, it has a faint smell, but it's not so pungent where it's just kind of like, oh, now I feel like I've got perfume on my face or anything like that. Next is my Afrique by Juvias. This is a new palette that I've recently purchased, and this is what it looks like here. It is a gorgeous, colorful palette. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is such a pigmented palette. I'm going to leave my review for it down below. This is so pigmented. Of course, the shimmers are the best in the palette. These bold pops of color are just so pigmented also. The only letdown is this yellow. It's just not pigmented enough. It's very chalky, and it just didn't go on my lid how I would like it to. It just didn't perform in the way that I would like it to. The thing is, I've heard a few people say that the yellow was a little bit of a letdown for them also. There was one lady who was saying she was going to ask Juvias for a replacement because she's wondering whether or not there was like a bad batch, because she doesn't really seem to get Juvia's shadows which are chalky, so she feels like it might have been a bad batch. Hopefully that's the case, but in my case, I feel like the yellow, for what I received, it was not the best yellow, but on a whole, like, the collection itself is just so beautiful, and I was very impressed with it. But then again, Juvias very rarely let anybody down, like, let's be real. Next is my Loreal Infallible foundation. Now, I know I've mentioned this before in a previous video, but this is an amazing foundation. Now look, I've used it all the way down to the point where I'm having to dig this out with a spatula and just apply it on my face directly. Now the reason why, like, I haven't been using this on its own. I use this alongside other foundations. Because this is such a high coverage foundation, I feel like it's a little bit thick, and seeing as it's so hot outside, I cannot wear this on its own. So I've been using this on top of other foundations. So what I have been doing is getting my normal foundation, putting it on my skin, and then the spots that need extra coverage, I literally just dig this out with the spatula and I put it over the areas that require the extra coverage, and it literally just goes on like so easily. It covers everything that I want to cover, and it's kind of like how did they do this? Like, this is an amazing foundation. I'm gonna have to get another one because obviously this is running out. This is gonna become one of my empties soon, like it's inevitable. But I definitely recommend this foundation. Like, if you are a high coverage kind of girl like I am, then get this foundation. Okay, so I don't necessarily have any fails, but I have maybes. So the first maybe that I have is the Le Chocolat liquid lipsticks by L'Oreal. Now these smell like chocolate. These are supposed to be matte liquid lipsticks. The reason why these are maybes is because, number one, I absolutely love the shades. I think they are beautiful. Secondly, I love the doe foot wand. I think the heart-shaped doe foot wand, amazing, simply because the tip and just the shape of it, it allows me to go in the very corner and shape the lipstick into whatever shape that I want it to be on my lip. There's some ones that aren't very cooperative, if that's the word to say. They're not very cooperative. What I don't like about this is the formula. This did not dry down straight away. It took a number of hours for it to completely dry down. That's not good enough for a lipstick which is marketed as a matte liquid lipstick. I feel like when you first put it on, it's more like a lip cream. I think Kim Kardashian had some lip creams at some point in her cosmetics career. She did have some lip creams. This is more like a lip cream. I understand why they would say that it's a matte liquid lipstick, because eventually it does dry down. But if it's not drying down literally straight away, then is it really a matte liquid lipstick? Maybe the formula is a little bit too thick for it to dry down straight away, because as I said, it feels like a lip cream rather than a lip stick, like a liquid lipstick. So I don't know. Also, I've only had it for a few weeks and this one has already started to separate. Can you see, like, there's very bright pink pigment in this bottle. I'm not too sure why it has separated. Like, it's a brand new bottle, and the thing is, considering that this is a new collection, how could this be, like, this is an old, do you know what I'm saying? So why is it separating? If this was like an old collection, I could kind of say, okay, this could have been sitting there for a little while, but this is a new collection. So I'm a little bit like, what? The other one didn't do it, I don't think. Oh no, it has a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if you can see, but it has just a little bit. I'm not happy with that. I'm really not. I'm gonna try and mix them up and shake them up and whatever, but I'm not happy with that. Lastly, again, which is a maybe, is my Lancome Le Corrector Pro Concealer Palette. This I have been using mainly to cut my crease when I'm doing cut crease eyeshadow look, but I do not use this under my eyes. I don't feel like it's the correct kind of formula for under the eyes. I feel like it's very, very good for like cutting creases. It's that kind of thickness, it's that kind of, it's just the right kind of consistency. But for under my eyes, I'm just not that, like, I'm not that sold on it. I prefer to just stick to my Revolution concealer, simply because I feel like that concealer, I can move it about a little bit better. This one's a little bit thicker. You need to work with it a little bit more. So this is a maybe, because I would like to have used it for what it's intended, which I would assume is for under my eyes, because, you know, that's what it says on the top, it's for your eyes. But I'm using it for my eyes in using an alternate method. So it's I definitely would not repurchase it. I don't feel like there's any need for me to repurchase it, but it's an alright palette, so that's why I just give it a maybe. So those are my July faves and fails, or faves and maybes, I guess. Let me know what your faves and fails for July are, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.